This video is about how you include files with PHP. First of all, I will just show you the concept of including files, and then I will do some coding. So when we include files, we usually do that because we want to avoid duplicate content, or we want to identify duplicate content which can be put in include files, so we only have to maintain the content in one file instead of in many files. So in this case I have three files: the index file, the about page, and I have a contact page. And these three files share something in common. I have the header, which I will put out in a header inc.php. I have the menu, which also is a duplicate content, and I'll put it in the file menu.inc.php. And the footer content I'll put in the footer inc.php. And I name the files inc because I want to specify that this is an include file. That means that I only have to go one place now to maintain my header, my menu, and my footer. So it will look something like this: that the index page and the about and contact share something in common. That's the orange areas, and then they have something that is particular for this page, which is in the black and the purple and the green area. So let's have a look at the code, how to do this. So this is my page, which contains a header section, my menu, a front page, and footer. And this is my content area. This is what changes from each page. You can see here, if I click the about us, it says about us, here's a story about us, and the contact will be something like this. We can write an email, and there's a link here. And in the code I have this structure that I have up here, my introduction, or my head section with the reset CSS and a title, and I have a style sheet, my own style sheet. This is the standard reset CSS. And then I have my wrapper outside my page, and in the page I have this section, the header section. I have a menu section, this one, and I have a content section, and I have a footer section. And if we go to have a look at the other pages, they are quite similar. As you can see, the only thing that changes is the title up here and the content down here. And for the contact, it's the same. We have another title up here, it says contact, and we have some different content here. So let's go have a look at the page, how it looks. See, up here we can see the title, and now we're at the home. We have an about and the contact, and the content over here changes. And in our styling we have some background styling for the body, and all the divs have the background color that is black, and we have a wrapper which is responsive or in percentage, and we have the header and the menu, the content, which floats beside each other, and then we have the footer, which stays at the bottom. When I change this small website into a PHP website, the first thing I will do is to make a copy. And here I have my files, my contact, about, index, and I have reset and style. So I'll make a copy of this one. I'll just press Command D to make a copy, and then I will call it PHP includes done. So this is my final version, and I will close these ones. So now I'll only work on the done version. The first thing I'll do is to rename the files to PHP, because now I want to work with includes. So I need to be able to use some of the PHP commands or PHP function. And this will still work because I have a localhost server running, and if I try to preview this, I see this is working the same way as before. If I click one of these, I get a 404 because I don't have a page called about.html anymore. So I need to change it. And I'll go here and change it to PHP here, PHP here, and PHP here. And it will now work. So if I click on about, it's linking to the about, but now when I want to go back to the home, I get a 404 because my menu in the about page has not been updated. And that's one of these features of the PHP, that we instead of go and update all the files as we used to do when we work with static HTML pages, we can now take this part here and put it into an include file, and then include it into all the pages, so we only have to maintain this section in one file. So I will just cut this, and I will make a folder here and call it include, and inside this I will make a new file which is called menu.inc.php, and inc is because I want to specify that this is an include file. When I open this, I just select this and copy the HTML inside, and I will save it. And in order to include it in my index.php, I have to make a PHP block. Like when we do JavaScripting, we have to make a script block. So inside this block I can use the PHP function include and then specify where to get the file, and this one I put into a folder called includes, and I want to include the file menu.inc.php and end with a semicolon. That means that now I include this file instead of this section. I will get over here, I will get my div with the ID menu with the list items. So when I go and have a look at my browser and just go to my index.php, I'll see that my menu is working still, and when I click the about us, it's working, but now the about is not working again because it still refers to the HTML versions. So I'll go back, and then in my about page I will do the same trick. I will delete this, and then I will include instead. From the includes folder, I want to have the menu.inc.php, which means that when I reload this, I see that now I can go back and forth between these two pages. Still this one, the contact.php, is working, but it still refers back to the HTML files. So I have to go open the contact.php and do the same trick. Now include again, go to the includes file folder and include the menu.inc.php. So let's test that it is working. I will reload this one, and now I can go back and forth between all the pages. So it's working. So now my menu is working, but I also have some section down here in the footer which can be put into an include file because it's the same footer I have on all the pages. So I will take this section, not only the footer section, but also this one, because this is also duplicate content. The ending of the div, the ending of the body, and the HTML tag. So I will cut this and put it into a new file. And this file I will call footer.inc.php. And I will open this and paste in the footer content, and over here I will make an inclusion again, include from includes folder, the footer.inc.php. So now it should work. Let's have a look at the contact page. We still have a footer down here. It looks the same as the other ones. So let's go and do the same trick for the about and the index page. I'll just copy this one, go to the index page, and then mark this and paste in my includes, and on the about I'll do the same. So now I only have to go one place to change the footer. I could change it to footer for my website, and when I reload this one, it says footer for my website, no matter which page I'm working with. The last thing I will do is to take the content of the header. What is duplicate here? If I have a look here, I can see that it's this section in the top, this one. Everything here can go into an include file, and also this section here, the header, because they are similar on all the pages except this text here, but I will come back to that in a moment. So I will just cut this, and I will, in my includes, I'll make a new file called header.inc.php, and inside here I will paste my my header info, and of course I need to make a PHP block here and include from includes header inc.php. So now this is working, but this doesn't look so good because I have actually two PHP blocks right beside each other, so I can just delete these two lines and have them in one block. And I can also do something like I could put them on the side here so it looks more nice. And I'll save this one and see if it's working. And I'll just reload the index page, and it has a header, and the other one works as well, but they don't share the same header file. I can show that if I put in here header from header.inc.php, and when I go and reload my about page, it says only header because this is coded into this about page. And when I click this one, you can say, okay, this one comes from header.inc, and from the contact page it's still the same section as we had before. So I will go and make the same trick. I'll just copy these 4 lines, and then in my about page I will mark this one all the way down to the menu, because my menu was included when I copied before from my index page, and then I can just align them on the left. And when I go and have a look at the contact page, it still doesn't show anything here, but when I go to about, it says this one comes from header.inc, and the same goes for my front page and the contact. No. So we have to go and do the same trick. Copy this one to the contact and mark all the way down to the menu, and then I will just align them to the left. So let's have a look. Now the contact shows that it's come from the header in PHP. So when I change this back again to only PHP includes, click the home, I can see now it changes back, and the same goes for the other pages. So now we have included the header section, the menu, and the footer. But when we have a look at this one up here, the title, it says it's okay, includes home, that's a home page, but about also shows home here, and contact also shows home. I want them to show about and contact in the title. So how do I do that then? I have my header, and in this this header file it says PHP includes home, and I want here to have a variable name, and when I want to have a variable name, I of course have to make a variable in these pages, so in these 3 pages. So I will go to my index, and up here I will create a variable. I will call it page title, and the value of it will be home page, like this. I'll just copy this line, and I'll go to my about page and do the same. I will say this should show about, only about, and the contact would be something like contact us now. In order to have those variables printed out on the title in the tab, I'll have to go here and you utilize this is a PHP file, and as you saw, if I just flip back to my index page, as you saw, this one is declared before I use the header in PHP, or before I include it. So if I go to my header in PHP, it remembers, or it knows that the page that includes this one, this header section, has specified a variable. So I can make a PHP block here, and then I can echo, that means display, my page title. So now we will mix the HTML and the PHP variable, or the value of the PHP variable, so it shows the correct title in the tab. Let's have a look. If I click this one, it says nothing. It says nothing. It says nothing. So why is that? Let's go back to have a look at the code. See, in the header inc, I expect that I will echo out a variable called page_title, and in my index page it's called page title without an underscore. So I will just go to my header inc PHP and change the variable name, because it doesn't know this variable, so it will just echo out nothing if the variable is not found. So I will go have a look, and now it's better. It says includes contact us now. That's the title of the contact page, and this is about, and this is home page, as specified in the variable. The value for the variable, let's see here, it says home page. So what happens here if I put this variable down here after my, or I just put it right after my header where I should use it. When I click the about, it's okay. When I click the home, it says nothing. and it says nothing because it doesn't know the variable page title, because I declare it after I want to use it. So remember to specify or declare the variable before you have to use it in, for example, the include file. So now we have a small website which is easy to maintain, because if I want to change something in the header section, for example, include a new style sheet, or make a new wrapper, perhaps I want to make a logo up here in the header section, it's easy just to put it into one file instead of all the files. The same goes for the menu. If I want to add some pages to my website, I can just here add a new page and call it, let's say, gallery, and give it the name gallery. Now I don't have a gallery page, but it's easy to do because I can just copy one of these and call it gallery. But let's have a look at how it shows up. Now here it's on all the pages. If I click the home page, the about, and the contact, I have the gallery menu item on all the pages. So that just sums up. We have now a page with 3 include files, one for the header, one for the menu, and one for the footer. And then we have some content that varies across the pages. This is the front page, and this is a different one. This is the about page, and this is the contact page. And in order to get these files to show different titles, we need to have a variable here called page title. And in my header file, I can echo it out or display it with this PHP block. Use the command echo and then the name of the variable, and then it mixes the HTML and the variable value from PHP. So this was a short intro to how to use include files in PHP.